Welcome to Sahara TV. Whilst Nigerians prepare to swear in their incoming president, General or President-elect Muhammad Buhari, some other Nigerians are also beginning a different form of political discourse. They're actually adding to, or we're yet to see, the democratic process or the democratic structures in Nigeria. The African Renaissance movement, I'll take that part again. The African Renaissance movement, actually got that right, is a political movement or association, as they prefer to call it, and they are just announcing their presence on the Nigerian political scene. On the phone right now, or on Skype right now, is their chairman and their founder, and he's going to help us understand what this movement is all about. His name, Uzezi Mokedi. You're welcome to Sahara TV, Mr. Mokedi.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for your time, sir. So can I start by asking you, what is this movement?
Yes. Basically, the African Renaissance movement is truly about bringing together the Nigerian people, having a platform where all Nigerians can actually have their dignity and respect protected, and we come as a people and rise together and be united. Basically, that's what the African Renaissance movement is about.
Do you see a void that you necessarily have to fill? I mean, most Nigerians are really excited that they have achieved change in government. You seem to be saying that that change is not enough. You still need more to be done, which you are going to do. Is that the case?
No, I think that in every political time, I'll use the word time, in every political time, there is a necessity that must be. Now, from the point of colonialism to the point of military rule to democracy to today's political space. I mean, the trend of what the necessity was accomplished. From military rule, there was democracy. From democracy of the People's Democratic Party, there was an evolution in the Nigerian political space to the APC General Muhammadu Buhari, who basically brought about the change of reducing corruption. Now, for us, what we believe the next change of our nation is the unity of our people, is to ensure that our people have their dignity and respect protected, and to ensure that the equity of our society becomes more in a cohesive manner.
It's interesting that you mentioned the unity of the people. That definitely is a concern, considering that the political makeup of Nigeria. There are actually some people who are advocating for a breakaway of, say, Biafra, for instance. We know that's history, but there's actually a group of people who are still advocating for this, and some other areas who are advocating it. What's your take on this? And added to that, can I ask you, what kind of ethnicities make up your party?
Now, for us, we have, as I said earlier, we are an ideological party. And based on the fact that we're an ideological party, inevitably you must have people who believe in our ideological purpose in all parts of the society. Now, when we look at the clamor for a division within our country, the people who are bent on dividing our country are, for me, believers in their own principles. But I believe there's a higher principle, and the higher principle we have to focus on is the fact that while people clamor for division, division only brings about more chaos in our society. I mean, if you have 3, 4, 5 people who were supposed to be united in strength, and you have these people fighting one another, obviously they're going to have more of a chaotic environment for those people. So for us, our own idea has allowed us to have a platform where every Nigerian who believes in a progressive unity that strengthens our bond, that gives us the greatest advantages to one another, could get involved. Now, practically, our political association is built in such a way where the practical aspects of sharing advantages can actually be, be discerned by those who actually become more aware of what we are all about as a political association. So I think that because of those who have spoken the narrative of dividing the people, and the people believing that the problems of their personal lives, the problems of the nation is dependent upon the different various ethnic groups or the different religious camps, etc. Because of those narratives, a lot of people have felt this truly is the truth. But for us, the alternative is that, no, let us have a higher truth. Let us look at Sudan and South Sudan. Let us look at Pakistan and India. Let us look at those countries who have become victims of that division. Obviously, they've continued to exist within an antagonized relationship, border relationship, etc. So I think that for us in Nigeria, what I see as the hope of the African people worldwide, or part of the hope of the African people worldwide, we must showcase an idea of unity. Because without the unity and looking at the history of where the African people and the Nigerian people have come from, inevitably we're going to be facing more chaos, and the chaos is going to be a lot more detrimental to all of us.
Okay, so let me backtrack a bit. You say your organization is a political association. It's not necessarily a political party.
No, it's not.
Are we going to wake up tomorrow and find out that the African Renaissance movement has, for instance, become the African Renaissance Party in Nigeria?
I believe that if the Nigerian people, which I believe they are based on my experience, if the Nigerian people are ready for the truth of unity, of sharing advantages, I think, yes, inevitably will become a political party. But it all depends on the Nigerian people. Okay. But so far, the Nigerian people have actually accepted that what we are saying. I mean, the ones who we've run across we've had a significant acceptance level to say that what we are offering is actually what is the best alternative. Okay. For now.
All right. Yeah. So in January 2015, and I'm looking at the document that you put out, in January 15, you had 54 members.
Yes, about that. Sure.
In February, you had 2,601 members. And by April 1st, you had 200,982 members. You must have a very vibrant networking and publicity team in place. What's the secret?
Exactly. Now, for us, because of, obviously, we are preaching, I'll know what preaching. We are enlightening people on the alternative of what is the best option. And initially I told you that we believe in this ideological focus, this ideological identity. So the people who have supported us so far have actually, fallen within the idea of this purposeful belief. So what has happened is, with our enlightenment process, the people, I mean, if you, for example, if you had 100 people that believed in a cause, and they were able to speak to 1,000 people, 10, persons each, and they were committed. Obviously, this isn't about us making money. This is about a true commitment to our people.
So, and I think that let me ask you there at that point. What do you do as a political association? We know that political parties, they go around campaigning, they do, different things to attract people. You are not a party, sure. You are an association, you say. What's your day-to-day activities like?
I'm going to talk about the fact that we enlighten and educate people. Then I'm also going to talk about a part of our constitution. In our constitution, for example, 50% of all funding into the political association actually goes into reinvestment in the people, in the sense that everybody. We believe in merit, obviously. So everybody who's involved in our political association has a right to actually submit a business proposal, a development proposal, etc. And then the most merited of them, based on the available resources we have, after leveraging the financial market, we obviously will now finance the most merited, business ideas.
How do you get funding for all of that?
No, basically we have people, as I said, we are ideological. So people provide funding of their own. At the same time, we also have membership, membership dues and stuff like that. People they pay for that. Sure.
Okay. All right. So looking at Nigeria right now and the way the political lines are drawn, if you were to align or if you were to merge with any of the parties, which one would that be?
To be very clear and to be very clear, we will not align with any political party whose ideological purpose is not about building the Nigerian state to a point where the Nigerian state has absolute dignity and respect for one another as citizens. I mean, we don't want factions in our country. What we want is for our people to believe that they live in a social cohesion, because that's what is best. So,
do you see any of these do you see any of the political parties closely, even ever so slightly, tilting towards this ideology that you're just sharing with us?
I think there are individuals that have that belief, but because of the narratives that exist today in our country, obviously those narratives might buffer the words of those individuals who actually have that belief. But for now, from the political party perspective, I believe that, and people are aware, that our nation has been divided in terms of tribalistic boundaries.
Finally, sir, some would say that you have a noble ideal, but with about 200 and something thousand in a country of over 150 million thereabouts, you hardly have a constituency. Why wouldn't you, for instance, support General Buhari, who the Nigerian people have reposed power in, to achieve these things? Why wouldn't you contribute your positive ideas to a cause like that, especially being as they have a larger constituency rather than starting from scratch?
For me, because of the fact that I'm ideological, I'm absolutely ideological. I think that the foundation of every party, every movement must be ideological. It must be purposeful to one focus. And our focus is to the development of the Nigerian people, the support of their respect and dignity, etc. So for us, it would be counterproductive for me to merge my body into existing political parties whose ideas are not absolutely in line with that ideological focus that I have. So for me, it's a principle thing. I mean, it's not about being part of any government, left and right, any government at all. But it's more about what is truly the best foundation for the Nigerian state. And the best foundation for the Nigerian state is to have a truly ideological party whose membership are enlightened, are educated to the alternative ideas that exist. If that occurs, then obviously you have a significant and swift development of the Nigerian state.
We thank you so much, Mr. Uzezi Mokedi, and we wish you all the best in your efforts to bring some level of respect, as you put it, to the Nigerian people. Good luck, sir.
Thank you. I really appreciate this interview. Thank you.
And we appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much. Sahara TV, stay tuned. There's more coming.